Yep. Welcome. This is the September 16th, 2024 meeting of the Wallingford Zoning Board of Appeals. I'd like to start the meeting by saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Tonight's decision will be published in the Record Journal on Friday, September 20th, 2024. The effective date of your variance will be Friday, September 20th, 2024. The date a certified copy is recorded on the land records. The statutory 15-day appeal period will expire on Sunday, October 6, 2024. If you commence operations and/or construction during the appeal period, you do so at your own risk. Voting tonight, Bob Gross, Tom Wolfer, Karen Raditz, Ray Rise, and myself, Joe Russick. First applications in front of us, 24-020, special exception request for Warnick for 312 Parker Farms Road, and also 24-016, a variance request for Warnick for 312 Parker Farms Road. Madam Secretary, do we have any correspondence?
Yes, we do, Mr. Chairman. We have staff comments that read as follows. Application 24-020 and 24-016 are companion applications for the same project/proposal to construct a 576 square foot addition to the attached garage at 312 Parker Farms Road in an RU40 district. Application number 24-020 is a special exception request for total garage area of 1,152 square feet, where 576 square feet exists. 576 square feet is proposed, and a maximum of 936 square feet is permitted as of right without special exception request, i.e. the request is for 216 additional square feet. Application 24-016 is a variance request for a side yard of 22 feet, where 22 feet exists and 30 feet is required to locate the single-story garage addition to the rear of the existing attached garage, expanding the existing non-conforming side yard of 22 feet an additional 24 feet. Parcel and dwelling predate zoning, allowing existing nonconformity, yet any expansion requires variance approval. And that's it.
Thank you. Welcome. Pull the microphones up close to you so we can hear you. And I don't know, are they green in front of you?
Yes.
Mine's green.
Yeah, okay. Please state your name and address for the record.
My name is Danny Warnick, and I live at 312 Parker Farms Road. This is my father, Dave Warnick.
Okay, welcome. So please explain your application, what you're going to do. So the first one is the special exception. We'll put them together, but explain the whole, what you're going to do.
Yeah, so right now I have a two-car garage, and I have my fiancee Talia, so her car's in one side. And we have a big garden in the back, so then our tractor and all of the garden supplies is in the other side, and my car's outside. And I want to make it longer, extend it out in the back, so I have room to fit my car, as well as everything else that we have. I don't want to make it further towards the property line, just extend it out existing.
Okay, so you're really just blowing the back out, going this, is it going to be primarily the same width?
Same
Just
width.
going out back 24 feet, is that what I saw?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. And you're going to hold the same 22 feet off the property line that's existing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And it's mainly to hold whatever, and so you can get your cars inside?
Yeah.
All right. Has anybody got any questions for the applicant? Tom? Bob?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The addition to the garage,
will you be conducting any repairs to the car there inside, like changing the oil and things like that?
No, I want to get out of the elements. I have a work vehicle and I want to keep my personal truck, so I don't drive it that much. I'd like to keep inside so it lasts longer.
So it's just for storage?
Just for storage, yep.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
No problem. Anybody else? No? Is there anybody here to speak in favor of this application? Anybody here to speak against this application? Hearing, seeing none. Do you have anything further you'd like to add before I close the public hearing?
No.
Okay, I'm going to close the public hearing and open up for discussion and possible action by the board. We're going to have two separate votes here.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to accept the special exception request for a garage area of 1,152 square feet, where 936 square feet maximum is permitted, to construct a 576 square foot addition to the rear of attached garage at 312 Parker Farmers Road, as shown on the map showing parcel of property of Alfred W. and Naomi Germain to be conveyed to Roger L. and Gloria Hocking, Parker Farms Road, Wallingford, Connecticut, dated 8/27/1982. So moved.
Second.
Motion to approve. This is the special exception. Mr. Gross.
Yes.
Mr. Wolfer.
Yes to approve?
Mr. Rice.
Yes.
Ms. Raddatz.
Yes to approve.
And Chairman Russick.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I also make a motion for a variance request for a side yard of 22 feet where 30 feet is required to construct a 576 square foot addition to the rear of the attached garage at 312 Parker Farms Road, as shown on the map showing parcel of property of Alfred W. and Naomi Germain to be conveyed to Robert L. and Gloria Hocking, Parker Farms Road, Wallingford, Connecticut, dated 8/27/1982. So moved.
Second.
Motion to approve the side variance. Mr. Gross.
Yes.
Mr. Wolfer.
Yes to approve?
Mr. Rice.
Yes, to approve.
Ms. Raddatz.
Yes to approve.
And Chairman Russick.
Yes. Your special exception and variance requests have been approved. Good luck.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yep. So next up is 24-021, special exception request for Severson for 33 Maltby Lane, and 24-025, variance request for Severson for 33 Maltby Lane. Madam Secretary, do we have any correspondence?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. We have staff comments that read as follows. Application 24-021 and 24-025 are companion applications for the same project/proposal to construct a 624 square foot detached garage at 33 Maltby Lane in an RU 80 district. Applicant requests total garage area of 1,924 square feet, where 1,300 square feet exists, and maximum 1,300 square feet is permitted by special exception approved in June 2017. So the current request is for an additional 624 square feet of garage. Variance request 24-025 is to locate the detached garage on the property, requiring a front yard of 35 feet where 75 feet is required. Lot is irregularly shaped, has wetland limitations, and abuts the town of Wallingford open space, Tyler Mill, on 3 sides. Applicant was denied a special exception for 2,752 square feet of garage area in March 2024. This special exception request significantly reduces the garage area previously requested by approximately 70%. The proposed detached garage would require some relief from setback regulations wherever located on the parcel due to the topography, shape of the lot, and the location and orientation of the dwelling. The proposed garage would be well out of any view from any other residence or street. We also have an interdepartmental memo from the Inland Wetlands Committee. And that's it.
Thank you. Welcome. Pull the microphone nice and close to you. Is it on there? Is it green?
Yeah,
All right, state your name and address for the record.
Eric Severson, 33 Maltby Lane.
Explain your application for us, please.
I'd like to have a building to be able to park my tractor in and my lawnmower, like tractor accessories and all like lawn equipment, things like that.
Okay, so you came in, I remember you coming in front of us, was in March, as it stated, and prior, the last was bigger,
Yes.
and was it was a different part of the property, correct?
Right,
So you've moved it, as we can see,
yeah,
and made it smaller?
correct.
Okay, so pretty much the same, you have your tractors you want to store in there, and no commercial use?
No second floor, no driveway, no,
Okay, and just a smaller and a different part of your property, that's
correct,
all?
yeah.
right.
And it's actually, like, the road ends at my driveway, so it's actually like 200 feet away from the road. So it's not really like frontage,
Okay,
so.
all right. Has anybody got any questions for the applicant? Bob?
Yeah, is the placement of the building, you planned on placing it there because you have a big piece of property here.
Right down the center, there's like a drainage swale, like running right down the middle.
See that?
Yeah. So,
But-
well, I was previously denied doing it in a location in the back, so I changed the location this time.
But to Amy, this is the only place he can place it on the property?
When he was in front of you all before, I believe it was a rear yard, you had to seek, because it's a triangular shaped property. So whether it's a rear yard or a front yard or a side yard, in order to avoid his drainage swale and be enough distance away, that, ample distance away from that and not have a wetlands issue, he's going to need some sort of relief.
Okay.
And if I may too, Mr. Chairman, I just want to make a point of order to our secretary. I did have, and to the applicant, that the record has received his wetlands soil report. It's in the record, and the commission has it. Okay, thank you.
Is this a building you're building, or is it a pre-built building that you're putting on?
It's a post and beam barn kit, so you buy the kit and you assemble it yourself.
So it's 600, so it's 10 by whatever size?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's a kit.
Yeah.
24 by 26.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Anybody else got any questions for the applicant? Is there anybody here to speak against this application? Anybody here to speak for this application? Hearing, seeing none. Do you have anything further you'd like to add?
Oh,
I'm going to close the public hearing and open up for discussion and possible action by the board. We'll have 2 votes on this also.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to accept special exception request for total garage of 1,924 square feet, where maximum 936 square feet is permitted, to construct a 624 square foot detached garage at 33 Maltby Lane, as shown on partial property survey lot at 33 Maltby Lane, and plans received August 15, 2024, subject to comments of the environmental planner dated September 10th, 2024. So moved.
Second.
Can I ask a question?
Special exception, motion to approve, Mr. Gross.
Yes.
Mr. Wolfer.
Yes, to approve.
Mr. Rice.
Yes, to approve.
Ms. Raddatz.
Yes to approve.
And Chairman Russick.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, make a motion to,
Hold on.
Do we need to read staff comments in for the variance request?
They
before
did.
We did?
Yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay,
she did. She did them both.
gotcha.
okay, make a motion for variance request, a front yard of 35 feet where 75 feet is required to locate a 624 square foot detached garage at 33 Mulberry Lane as shown on partial property survey lot at 33 Mulberry Lane and plans received August 13, 2024. Subject to comments by the environmental planner dated September 10, 2024. So moved.
Second,
This is for the variance request, motion to approve, Mr. Gross.
Yes.
Mr. Wolfer.
yes, to approve.
Mr. Rice.
Yes, to approve.
Ms. Raddatz.
Yes to approve.
And Chairman Russick.
Yes. So your special exception and variance requests have been approved. Good luck.
Thank you.
Next, application 24-022, a variance request for Gomez for 142 Ward Street. Madam Secretary, do we have any correspondence?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we have staff comments that read as follows. Request is for rear yard of 26 feet, where 26 feet exists and 30 feet is required, to construct a partial dormer on the northwest side of the dwelling at 142 Ward Street in an R6 district. Structure is a three-family home with one dwelling unit per story. The third floor has height limitations due to the various roof lines. Applicant would like to add an approximate 310 square foot dormer to the northwest section of the home. The 26-foot rear yard is existing, and an expansion of a couple feet to existing wall height for a less than 150 square foot gain of added headroom still necessitates variance approval in order to construct.
Thank you. Welcome. Please pull the microphone nice and close to you and give your name and address for the record.
Hi, my name is Gisela Gomez. I live in 142 Ward Street in the first floor. He's my husband, Miguel Gomez. We live in the property.
Okay. Please explain what you want to do here.
Yes, we're looking to add a little bit headroom in the northwest side of our third floor apartment. We was in the needed of opening in the inside of the house, and we were looking to do a new roof too because we have a fire in the third floor in January 16. So we looking to raise in the northwest side only to give a little bit extra headroom in there for our property. So, and we need to go through these for the variance of the existing building is located 26 away, and then was requested the 30 feet away from the rear fence. So hoping to get approved and do this improvement in our house.
Right, so you're not expanding the nonconformity of the 26 feet because it's already 26
It
feet
is.
now. All you'd want to do is put a dormer, open up the roof, give you more
Exactly.
room on the third floor.
Yeah, in the northwest side of our property is existing a dormer, but they did many years ago in different lines of roof. So I add some pictures in there. The roof is like this, and we just want to go with the winds in the same hay in the corners of that wall.
Okay,
That will be what we're looking to add. So before we do any improvements in there, we've been waiting for this approval.
okay. Has anybody got any questions for the applicant? Bob?
Yeah, so goes back, I just want to say this. So you're raising the roof to make it so it's higher, so the living space is more comfortable for the people inside. So you're spending money to make it, you're doing something to make it more pleasurable and to live in there.
Yes.
I agree
Yes.
that that's a good way to do it. Thank you.
All set? Anybody else got any questions for the applicant? Is there anybody here to speak in favor of this application? Anybody here to speak against this application? Hearing, seeing none. Do you have anything further you'd like to add? Is there anything further you'd like to add? No? You're all set? I'm going to close the public hearing and open up for discussion and possible action by the board.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to accept a variance request for a rear yard of 26 feet where 30 feet is required to construct a partial dormer on the northwest section of the dwelling at 142 Ward Street, as shown on improvement location survey, 142 Ward Street, Wallingford, property of Miguel Gomez, dated 8/8/2024, and submitted plans received August 16, 2024. So moved.
Second.
Motion to approve, Mr. Gross.
Yes.
Mr. Wolfer.
Yes to approve.
Mr. Rice.
Yes to approve.
Ms. Raddatz.
Yes to approve.
And Chairman Russick.
Yes, your variance requests have been approved. Good luck.
Thank you so much,
You're
all of
welcome.
you.
Next one up is 24-023, a variance request for Greco for 26 Tremper Drive. Madam Secretary, do we have any correspondence?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we have staff comments that read as follows. Applicant requests variance approval for a side yard of 10.05 feet, where 20 feet is required, and 12.15 feet exists, to construct a 372-square-foot wraparound deck to the side and rear of the dwelling at 21 Tremper Drive in an R18 district. Regulations permit uncovered decks to project to the rear without setback, yet must be compliant with side and front setbacks. Side yard variance request is necessary as the applicant proposes expanding existing 4 feet by 6 feet side deck to 6 feet by 20 feet. Rear portion of deck along the rear of the dwelling is compliant. Property predates zoning, is currently non-conforming with regard to lot area, street frontage, and side yard setbacks. One consideration the board should consider is the hardship with an expansion from 24 square feet of existing side deck to 120 square feet of side deck. The board may evaluate a lesser variance which does not expand the side deck further into the setback, but rather extends the one dimension, the existing deck width to the rear with a 4-foot by 20-foot side deck, thus reducing the encroaching deck area proposed by 40 feet. Another option is to eliminate the side deck and add alternate means of entry to the rear deck from either side. No variance would be required, eliminating the additional side yard portion of the deck. Currently, the driveway is on the opposite side of the dwelling than the deck side. Therefore, this is not being a primary entry point to the house.
Thank you. Welcome. Pull the microphone nice and close to you so we can hear it, and state your name and address for the record.
My name is Shanice Greco, 26 Tremper Drive, Wallingford, Connecticut.
Peter Greco, 26 Tremper Drive, Wallingford.
Welcome. So please explain your application, what we're doing here.
So, as you can see, we're trying to put a deck onto the back of our house. There is on the side of our house, there is decking that was placed over an existing concrete step to get into the side. We want to remove that old wooden decking and put an entire new deck going out the side door and wrapping around the back of the house. We decided to go with 6 feet, which is 2 feet larger than the existing 4 feet structure now, just to give ourselves just a bigger exit and entry point in and out of the house. And yeah, so that's what we're trying to do, essentially just trying to put, a deck.
Okay, so you have thought about, what was talked about by staff about keeping it to the 4 feet that it is now, so it would be less of a variance request. Right? I mean, you have thought about that?
Yes,
There's no
we
way
have.
you could move it down to the 4 feet width?
I mean, we could, but I mean, you know, it would just, like I was saying, it would give us more space. It's tight in, you know, in the house, and it would give us more, as you get out of that door, it would give us more area right there.
Right, so they're saying there's probably a concrete slab stairs underneath there that
There
they-
is.
Yeah,
that-
prior to us, not to cut you off.
Go for it.
Prior to us buying the house, we bought the house, and that's what the deck was. They kind of just slapped up something over the concrete, which we didn't really realize until further living in the house and coming up with different plans of what we would like to do.
Right.
So, yeah.
So I've seen this before, so a lot of times what happens is the concrete is, you know, coming apart and everything else, so the easiest thing, instead of removing it, is people build over it.
Yep.
And that's probably what they did to make it, prior to you buying it, they probably did that to make it more, you know.
Yep. They put pressured wood, so we'd like to do something better. We plan on living there for much longer, hopefully forever. So when we first moved into the house, it was a starter home, and financially we were getting our careers together, and now we're able to put some work into the house. And for our living situation, it's not that big of a house.
Right.
So our backyard would allow us better access to, you know, enjoy our home further.
Right.
So that's one of the reasons why.
Okay, so you want to stick with that 6 foot wide?
We
We-
do.
we would
do.
like to.
And we talked to, I took the survey from our survey guy, and I put it on, you know, just a document, and I showed it to their neighbors that this, you would be looking at their house.
Right.
And, you know, I asked them, and I was like, hey, you know, are you okay with this? You know, would you
Right.
sign and date this? They were like, we would love it, you know. and,
Okay.
So, you know, aside from, you know, putting this, you know, on the agenda and them having the opportunity to come here, we took it a step farther to reach out to both neighbors that could actually see the
They're
deck.
not here, so evidently they were okay with it.
Yeah.
That is true, but like I said, I made sure, you know, to have it at least, you know,
You did the neighborly thing.
correct,
Okay.
correct.
Has anybody got any questions for the applicant? Bob?
So this deck, there's a door right there?
Correct.
It's just, and I sort of can see the door. I took a picture of it yesterday. I didn't get that far on the side. And then you have a door in the front. So this is the door you use to leave the house? Or what-
It is
because you have a
for,
front door?
yes, we have a front door, but we also utilize the side door. On multiple occasions, we have a dog, we let him out that way. Yeah, so we utilize that door just as much as the front door.
So this is considered your back door? There's no door in the back of the
There
house?
is
There is
back
no.
door,
And there's no Bilco or cellar door on the back of the
No.
house? But, and you didn't want to do anything on the other side of the house? The other side, I guess, is further away from the
It
property
is.
line?
Yes.
So you didn't want to build anything on that side and wrap it around?
Well, there's no door on that side.
Well, I understand there's no
Yeah.
door, but you want to build a wraparound deck also?
So the deck wraps around, but it doesn't go all the way.
To the other
To
side.
the other side.
Right now, it stops at some point.
Correct.
Yeah.
But you're going to expand that deck also? Or no?
No.
You're just going to leave that deck, you just want to build a 6-foot platform here and that's it?
Oh,
No,
it's going
and then-
around, yeah, it's
Yes.
going around.
You want to build a bigger deck in the back too?
Correct. It's going to go wrap around the back side of the house.
The left side could do it too. You could build a bigger, because you're building a new deck, is what you're saying in the back?
Yep.
Okay. What, can I ask what the hardship is then on this?
Well, so the setback of 20 feet from the property line, we only have a 67-foot width of a property, right? Whereas a 20-foot setback, you know, and our house predates zoning. But the house was built before this came into place. So with a 20-foot setback, you're really tied to no construction really, other than a boardwalk down the center of my backyard that I can't, you know. So then we wouldn't be able to build onto anything of this house and of anytime we're living there. There would be, we did look at putting in a patio
Yeah,
and the thing.
just
but
straight
there's
in
a-
the back.
Yep. There's just like a really big slope. So putting in a patio would be difficult, whereas like a deck, we could set off and then have the stairs going down to the back. It would be much more,
I'm not being rude, I'm just looking at your pictures of your
Yeah.
house. I took pictures, so I'm
Yeah.
just looking as
Yeah.
you're talking, I'm just looking
Yep.
at your pictures there as you're talking. So that, as you're saying something, I'm just looking.
yeah,
So that's-
gotcha.
That's why I'm looking at the phone as you do that. And you didn't want to take the advice of the zoning board of alternate plans to build?
So, to my understanding, they were saying instead of 6, do 4 on the side and go back. I think that if it,
We would like to do the 6 feet. It would be a larger exit, more space, easier to get in and out of the house. We're going to put you're going to be able to get out of there, go down the stairs either to the right or to the left, right?
You're going to put, you're talking about, but it comes onto the grass when you leave from there.
Correct.
yeah.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Are you all set, Bob, or you got?
Yes, I am, thank you.
Just a point that what it looks like to me on their, it's a non-conforming as it is right now.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
even, they're going to make it even more non-conforming if we really want to, talk about it. Because the measurement where the house sits right now is not within the 20-foot setback as it is. So, yes, no matter what they did, if they did it on the left side, they'd be asking the same thing, really. So, that's just a part of the conversation up here. Has anybody else got any questions?
I have a question, Mr. Chairman, for staff.
Go ahead.
Amy, are all the properties in that vicinity non-conforming?
Yes.
That whole neighborhood is primarily, yes, they all predate zoning. However, two points again, and Mr. Chairman Russick just mentioned it too. That was just a suggestion for the board to consider that I made. It wasn't an alternative plan that they should or should not do. But expanding the existing nonconformity is much more favorable than to make it more nonconforming. And for the applicants, I'd like to know what was happening when they constructed that house
We have
and
no
didn't
idea.
flip the layout. So your driveway is on your bedroom side or the opposite side of your entry with no sidewalk.
Yeah.
Then it would make
We
sense,
took
just
that into
logical
consideration.
sense.
After we purchased the house, we were first-time home buyers, very excited that, it was right before COVID, and we're like, oh, there's a lot of things that we could have had better, but we, yeah.
It would just, we exit your vehicle, you go into the kitchen
Yep,
from your driveway, not around the house.
yeah.
Just
Yeah,
a side
and we
note.
couldn't even do a driveway on the other side because there's a telephone pole.
No, the builder
Yeah,
Yeah.
would have oriented
Yeah.
the interior
yeah.
the opposite.
Yep.
Right, builder? That's all, that's just a little side note of my boy.
You said the builder could have.
Yes, and then
Yes.
the school.
That's way back.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Traffic.
this is a long time ago.
Anyways, but, so less is more, so I would consider that as an alternative. And technically, we consider decks portable objects. They're not sort of variants typically able. They don't require a survey unless they don't comply, which this does not, because they could be moved if they were in the wrong place. So on the one hand, it's a big ask for a little thing, but on the other, it's also something that's not necessary for the enjoyment of a reasonable enjoyment of our home. So it's just food for thought. The board has the determination, but less is always more. And that still requires a variance.
Thank you.
It's not going to be a covered porch. You're just going to come out
Correct.
pretty much the same way you have it here. It's going to be wood or like a composite material.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? Is anybody here to speak in favor of this application? Anybody here to speak against this application? You have anything further you'd like to add before we close the public hearing and open up for discussion and possible action? I'm going to close the public hearing and open up for discussion and possible action by the board.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to accept the variance request for side yard of 10 feet and a half, where 20 feet is required, and construct a wraparound deck at 26 Tremper Drive as shown on proposed plot plan. Land of Peter Greco, 26 Tremper Drive, dated August 15, 2024, and submitted plans received 8/16/24. So moved.
Second.
Motion to approve, Mr. Gross.
Yes.
Mr. Wolfer.
Yes to approve.
Mr. Rice.
Yes to approve.
Ms. Raditz.
Yes to approve.
And Chairman Russick.
Yes, your variance request has been approved.
Thank
Good
you
luck.
so much. Thank you guys very much. Have a
Yeah.
great night.
Next variance request is 24-024, variance request for High Guard for 6 Bailey Avenue. Madam Secretary, do we have any correspondence?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we have staff comments that read as follows. Applicant proposes side yard, the western side, of 12.97 feet, where 20 feet is required and 16.08 feet exists, to construct a 256-square-foot single-story addition and a 14.81 side yard, easterly side, where 20 feet is required and 15.51 feet exists, to construct slash add a bulkhead Bilco basement entryway. Dwelling and lot predate zoning and are currently non-conforming with regard to setback requirements and street frontage, i.e. lot width. As such, although compliant lot area exists, the lot has nearly one-half the required width for the zone with an elongated length. The side yard request on the western side for the bulkhead is approximately 6.8 inches less than the existing western side yard and is required solely for the installation of the Bilco entry rather than part of the proposed addition. And that's it.
Thank you. Welcome. Please state your name and address for the record.
Good evening, Richard Hygard, 6 Bailey Avenue.
So please explain your application to us.
Sure, what I'm looking to do, this lot, as mentioned, is 60 feet wide in an R18 zone, so I could literally have a 20-foot house width-wise, which I don't have, so it's non-conforming width, and both sidelines are non-conforming as it sits. So I'm looking to go out the back of the house as best I can to put a kitchen, dining room addition on that's fairly modest. But in doing so, I'm encroaching on both sidelines slightly more than what's already there.
Okay, and then you're going to add a Bilco door for access?
Yeah, presently there's a Bilco door to the rear facing out the back of the house. So when this addition goes on, I'm going to move it to the driveway side.
Okay.
And that's kind of why I had to shift the addition 3 feet off to the other side, just to make room for both.
Okay, so a single-story addition out the back?
Correct.
Just for your kitchen, dining room?
Yep.
And then the Bilco door?
Right. Trying to keep in, so that it's not overbuilt for the neighborhood. It's a 1,000-square-foot home. It'll be just around 1,500, under 1,500 square feet, so it's not obscene in the neighborhood. It fits the nature of the neighborhood still. It was my goal.
Right, okay. Does anybody got any questions for the applicant? No? Bob?
No.
No? Nothing? Is there anybody here to speak in favor of this application? Anybody here to speak against this application? Hearing, seeing none. Do you have anything further you'd like to add before we close the public hearing?
No, thank you.
I'm going to close the public hearing, open up for discussion and possible action by the board.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve a variance request for side yards of 12.97 feet and 14.81 feet, where 20 feet is required to construct a single-story addition and bulkhead entry at 6 Bailey Avenue, as shown on proposed plot plan. Land of Richard Heidgard, 6 Bailey Avenue, dated August 15, 2024. Submitted plans received 8/16/2024. So moved.
Second.
Motion to approve, Mr. Gross.
Yes.
Mr. Wolfer.
Yes to approve.
Mr. Rice.
Yes to approve.
Ms. Raddatz.
Yes to approve.
And Chairman Russick.
Yes, your variance request's been approved. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Well, today was a unanimous day.
Can I get a, well, let me ask. Tom, how's the minutes look?
They look very good. This, I don't know if anybody noticed, but it was 9 pages long.
We did a lot of talking.
It was
We did.
long.
When you go back and read it, we did a lot of talking. But make a motion to accept the minutes as submitted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you.